Bend the knee. Yo, what's the deal? It's Don Willie back at you again. Finally doing my spoiler talk about Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 1, The Wars to Come. I know, like, damn near 2 weeks late with this, but come on, man. You know, it's a lot of life to live right now. Anyway, so yeah, man, as far as season premieres go, you know, I think this was good in terms of setup and just overall, you know, reintroducing you to the characters, and kind of setting up what the premise for the season is going to be. And it seems that premise is shifting power dynamics. You know, at the end of last season, obviously, we got a few deaths that will ultimately change the way a lot of characters interact with each other from now on, right? And so we see the repercussions and the reverberations of not only those deaths, but also how, you know, people are going to react to them, you know. So, first off, we start off with our only flashback that we've ever gotten in Game of Thrones. And, you know, after reading the books, because, you know, like a lot of people, I got into the show first and then decided to get into the books to see how much deeper the rabbit hole went. And, you know, we should have gotten flashbacks a long time ago. Definitely season 1 when Ned was in the Black Cells, and the whole dream he had about fighting the members of the Kingsguard and seeing Lyanna and making a promise or whatever. You know, we still don't know what the promise is, but that should have been a bigger thing. And I don't know if D&D will wind up regretting not doing that later on, you know, like in retrospect of the entirety of the show. But I definitely think it was something that should have been in there, that was pivotal. But at least we got something, right? Now, two things that people have seemed to be kind of in a little bit of an uproar about when it comes to the whole Maggie the Frog thing. One is she didn't look how she was described in the books, right? You know, really old, kind of wrinkly, ugly, whatever you might want to call it. And look, at the end of the day, you know, this is television medium, and if there's anything that we know about Hollywood is that they want to make things as glamorous as possible, whether or not it fits in with the show. Look at Tyrion, for example. You know, according to George, Peter Dinklage is actually too good looking to be Tyrion from the books, but he played the character so well that it doesn't matter, right? You know, Maggie the Frog came off a little cheesy. You know, with the whole laugh, the witch's laugh at the end. The girl who played Cersei, though, oh my god. You know, it's funny because she kind of, you know, when you think of what Cersei is supposed to sound like and how she would have acted, like, yeah, that little girl, or, you know, preteen or whatever, she definitely did a good job of playing the spoiled little rich girl, you know. So yeah, you know, kudos to that actress. She did a great job, and hopefully get to see a little bit more of her, because, you know, another thing that goes back to the whole Maggie the Frog prophecy is that people we're talking about they left out the whole thing with the Valonqar. And I've watched other reviews and people were saying that probably the reason why they left that particular thing out of there is because, does Cersei need any more reasons to hate Tyrion, right? She already hated him for her mom dying during childbirth. He just killed Tywin. She believes he killed Joffrey. He sent Marcella off to Dorne. And, I can kind of see where people are saying, it kind of is beating a dead horse to a certain extent. So, I can definitely understand that part. Then we jump right into Tywin's funeral. So, different than it was in the books, a lot more interesting and not necessarily played for laughs, but definitely to show you that, this is somebody who was feared and respected, and in this particular instance, because of the fact that that his body was in such a state of decay, but not also just decay, but to the point where they couldn't do anything about the smell. People were getting nauseous or whatever. They really, like, now Tywin definitely wasn't a thing to be feared anymore. So it's like, but in the show, you had the whole Cersei and Jaime thing, and now Jaime, for the first time that I can remember, is really like, they're gonna take everything from us, blah blah blah, and that really sounded more like a Cersei kind of thing than Jaime. But at the end of the day, look, Jaime grew up as kind of a spoiled rich kid too. He just wasn't as sadistic with the way that he went about things as Cersei was. Then we get Varys and Tyrion finally getting the Pentos. I wonder how long they were on that ship, because Tyrion, listen, like this right here is about a week of me not shaving, right? Tyrion came through with the damn Grizzly Adams beard, almost, from however long they were on that boat. And, it's funny how he's talking about, why did you have to leave me in that fucking crate? What it's like having to stuff your shit through a hole. And Varys is like, well, no, I only know what it's like having to take your shit and throw it overboard. So, yeah, you'll feel, you'll understand if I don't really feel all that much sympathy for leaving you in that fucking crate. So that was kind of funny, I guess we're not getting Illyrio anymore. I don't know what happened to the actor, but it is what it is. He hasn't been seen since season 1, like, episode 5? In the Black Cells, or in the Dragon Pits, or wherever it was. So, I would have liked to see him just to see how he was going to fit into the story, but it is whatever. Next up, we get the Sons of the Harpy. No, sorry, not the Sons of the Harpy, but we get shit. Lost my train of thought there. So next up, we get the Unsullied bringing down the Harpy from the pyramid or whatever, and one of the Unsullied that they call White Rat goes into a brothel, gets killed by one of the Sons of the Harpy, assisted by the prostitute or whatever. And listen, I gotta say, man, look, whatever you want to say about Game of Thrones, they know how to pick some good looking women. Period. Man, dude was like, you don't have to take off all your clothes. Yeah. Not good to be an Unsully. Goddamn. So yeah, they're up to like, oh yeah, he got killed by the Sons of the Harpy. They're pissed off at you, etc., etc. It's like, oh yeah, we want him buried with military honors in the Temple of the Graces. And, it's funny how when Missandei asked Grey Worm about, why is it that he was in a brothel, she was, why was it that he was in a brothel? What would an Unsullied be doing there? Dude lies to her, and you can tell that he, she knows that he's lying to him. She knows that he's lying to him, and it's like, I know you're kind of embarrassed. You're supposed to be this, this warrior. You ain't got no kind of fear or anything. So, in the books, he's like, just because we don't have men's parts doesn't mean we don't have men's hearts. But, here, they try to make it seem like, he's all stone-faced. I do not know. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just funny because here you have this dude who wants to tell this woman, like, yeah, look, Unsullied need love too. But he just can't bring himself to do it. So that was a little funny. Then we got Jon at the wall training young Oliver, young Ollie or whatever, to be a man of the Night's Watch. Of course, you got Alice Thorne hating, as always. Sam and Gilly doing their things, like, oh, don't let him send me away, don't let him send me away. And then in pops in Melisandre. Looking a lot less red than usual. I mean, it might have been because of the tint, it was kind of tinted blue or whatever. Brings him up to see Stannis. She asks him if he's a virgin. And I'm just like, yeah, that was just kind of ill. Like, alright, she's obviously sending some signals there or whatever, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Whether Jon Snow takes the bait or not. Knowing him, they'll probably be like, I'm in love with Ygritte. God damn it, be a man, Jon Snow. Be a man. Not just a man in a Night's Watch. But, yeah, she takes him upstairs, introduces him as the Bastard of Winterfell. I'm like, you just cannot escape that title, can you? Yeah, it is what it is. So, Stannis is like, hey, he wants Mance to bend the knee or he'll burn. And, for those of you who watch my videos, that's the reason why I put bend the knee, because, that's like Stannis' trademark phrase above anything else. Because nobody else says bend the knee as much as Stannis does. At all. And like I said before, I wasn't really into Stannis when I first got introduced to him in the show and in the books. But, he grew on me. I'm a Stannis fan now. You know what I'm saying? We're all the way, man. And we get Sansa and Littlefinger dropping off Sweet Robin in the Eyrie, and it's funny because a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, they're gonna kill off Sweet Robin. They're gonna kill him off. They're gonna kill him off." Look, Sweet Robin is not gonna die. All right, I'm letting you know right now, Sweet Robin is not going to die. He is sending Littlefinger out the moon door. Sweet Robin is. Alright? You know, Sansa is going to tell him what Littlefinger did. Sweet Robin is sending Littlefinger out the moon door. That's what it is. But anyway, so, oops, sorry about that there. So anyway, they send Sweet Robin to foster with the Royces, and then they bounce and pass Brienne and Pod without even noticing them on the road. And Brienne of Tarth, Brienne the Beauty, what the hell is her problem now? She seems to just, she's all snippy with Podrick about losing Arya, and how she doesn't, have anybody to fight for. And it's like, yo, you know what? That's not his fault. Okay? It's not his fault that you keep having bad luck. Alright? Some people have bad luck, and unfortunately, Brienne is just one of them. Alright? You can't get all snippy with Podrick about that. Look, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna move on from that, man. Then let me go back to the funeral. Just after the funeral repast or whatever, and we get the scene with Kevin Lannister. They brought him back. I'm glad they brought my man Kevin back. Haven't seen him for a while. He looks like he lost weight. Unless it's just maybe the armor made him look bigger when he was in season 2. Not sure, but they brought him back. They brought Lancel back. Everybody keeps on saying how Lancel looks so diesel. I don't know, man. I remember seeing Lancel from season 2 in a Blackwater episode. He didn't look super skinny to me. I mean, you got to think, he had on like crazy layers of clothes. He had longer hair, so you really couldn't see his face as much. He had on that silly ass Dutch boy hat. So yeah, that was kind of a different thing. You get a haircut, your face looks a little bit more defined. He's got on less clothes. He got the whole his chest open and all that. So yeah, he's gonna look different. I mean, I don't know. I gotta watch it again, but like I said, I don't think he looked super jacked or anything. Not to me, anyway. But anyway, so he's talking back and forth with Cersei, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't." He basically told her that he confessed to the stuff that they were doing together, or if he didn't confess, that he's willing to. And the fact that Cersei didn't basically call it King's Guard and have him tossed, in the black cells or whatever. I'm like, come on, Cersei, what happened to that killer instinct? I thought you were Tywin Jr. Then next up we get Loras Tyrell and his new love, Oliver. Which, I'm like, okay, does he not know that this dude works for Littlefinger? Like, he must not know that he works for Littlefinger, because if he did, I don't think he would be, gallivanting around with him. Just kind of, not necessarily in public, but, dude was reckless. Marjorie just walked right in on him. Anybody could have just walked right in on him. He was like, oh, well, everybody already knows. It's like, yeah, but dude, just because they know doesn't mean that you necessarily go and not throw it in people's faces, but jeez, come on, man, have some sort of decorum. You already know that there are people. This is a medieval period. People are superstitious. They're overly overly sensitive to the things that they don't understand about life, like, don't give them a reason to start fucking with you. But, yeah, man. It is what it is with that. Well, we'll see what happens with that in the future, right? Then we get Tyrion and Varys. Tyrion and Varys talking about Daenerys Targaryen. And I swear to God, I'm going to be pissed if they just kind of sweep the Aegon Targaryen thing under the rug. Because, I know people have been kind of arguing with me back and forth about the whole Jorah Mormont Varys thing from season 1. Like, look, Viserys was dead when that whole thing happened. Daenerys was supposed to be the last Targaryen, and I use air quotes because, again, we forget about Aerion, Bright Flame's kids, his kid, and who the hell else? One of the other ones had a kid, but she was dim-witted or whatever, so they didn't want to put her on the throne, and that's how Aegon V wound up there. Look, the point that I'm making is, dude went through with Robert's orders to try to kill Daenerys. You cannot just explain away that he just up and changed his mind because Jorah Mormont foiled his plan. Because the way that he made it sound is that ever since before Robert died, he was trying to get Daenerys or somebody, a Targaryen, on the throne. Alright, so if this is what he was doing before Robert died, then there's no way that you can just say, okay, well, hey, yeah, we're just gonna sweep that under the rug. That didn't matter now. Yeah, that didn't matter. He's on her side now. For real. I'm not buying it. And let's see. Next, we get the return of Hizdahr, Zalorek, and Daario Naharis. So, come to the city. They see the Unsullied patrolling because of the murders going on. They talk about the whole thing with the Sons of the Harpy. And then we get Hizdahr trying to plead the case for Daenerys making concessions to the former masters of Yunkai and Meereen to reopen the fighting pits. And the funniest thing is when he's talking, Daario, just brings out that knife and just kind of gives it a look like, hey, I'll kill him right here, right now. Just give the word, I'll just kill him. But then the crazy thing is, like, right in the next scene, he's like, oh yeah, you should reopen the fighting pits. If it wasn't for the fighting pits, I wouldn't be here with you. It's like, okay, you were just gonna kill Hizdahr for annoying Dany about the fighting pits, and then you're gonna go and, okay, whatever, man. Oh, and seriously, alright. Yes, I know that, there's been the whole thing about they want to see more male nudity or whatever, but it just looked damn silly with this dude walking around butt naked and Daenerys is up there. They're all covered up, but Emilia Clarke does look a lot better with blonde hair than she does with her regular brunette hair. I don't know why. And the hair down. I like the hair down better than it braided up. Alright, enough of that. Enough of rambling about that. But anyway, he's like, hey, it's supposed to be the Dragon Queen. How you gonna be Dragon Queen without any dragons? And she decides she wants to go visit her babies. And I'm still not sure, like, have they said whether or not the dragons are male or female or whatever? Because, I mean, like, she basically gave them all male names because she named them, you know, after Drogo, Rhaego, and Viserys. But, yeah, you know, they were pissed, which, you know, who wouldn't be? It's like, how the hell are you going to lock me up for something that somebody else did? You know, like, damn it. Yeah, I remember getting beatings for stuff that my cousin did for like the 1 year that he lived with me. And I was like, why am I getting beat for something that he did? Really? You're gonna punish me for something that someone else did? Really? Is that what we're doing? So, yeah, you know what? To Rhaegal and Viserion, I feel you. With your brothers. You know, don't let mama bully you, right? And then finally, we get Mance Rayder refusing to bend the knee because I don't want my people bleeding for Stannis Baratheon either. Okay, bro. You know, that's the way you want to play. You just wanted to have to... Look, you made your choice, and luckily for you, you know, Jon had enough respect for you, and he didn't want your people to see you basically die screaming, you know, like a little girl. Or, sorry, don't want anybody to get offended. They didn't want to see you die screaming. So he decided to put you out of your misery. And since, you know, most of you you should have seen episode 2 by now. We already know what the outcome is from that. But, you know, Kieran Hines, you know, he played the best Mance they gave him to play. You know, obviously in the books it's different. It's not the real Mance, but I'd have to say I think this is the real Mance. It's not just Rattleshirt, the glamour. Like, we haven't seen Melisandre really do any glamours. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why I'm, you know, coughing and all that, this damn weather in New York is just outrageous. It was like 72 days ago for the past, but no, it was 72 days ago. Then yesterday and today it was like 40. So, but forgive, you know, the kind of little hiccups in between. But yeah, anyway, Mance got his dumb ass burned. I'm sorry. You know, like I said before, you can't go to somebody else's country and decide that you're just not going to follow the rules. So I don't really have any sympathy for him as far as that is concerned. You know, Stannis gave him space, told him bend the knee and live. And, you know, he's like, oh, my pride. This isn't about my pride. Okay, you know, this ain't about your pride. But, you know, you didn't have to die. You know, you feel like, oh, they're not going to respect me. All right, well, what the hell is going to happen to that 100,000 wildling army? Because what happens if Stannis is like, all right, well, you got a few people through the gate. Everybody who's not already through the gate can't come now. You didn't bend the knee. They're not going to follow me. They can't come. So, yeah. Anyway, look, this video is dragged on long enough. Let me know your thoughts on it. You know, I'll be back either tomorrow or maybe in a couple of hours with episode 2. Yeah. And look, Sunday I'm going to do both videos back to back, and I'll just publish the first one right after the show, and the second one I'll publish on either Tuesday or Wednesday, but it'll already be recorded, so you won't have to wait as long. All right, and it probably won't be as long either. But anyway, look, thanks for sticking with me, my long diatribe. Give me your thoughts on this one. And like I said, either I'll be back in a couple hours or sometime tomorrow with episode 2. Peace. Saying it there. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Download.